Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Ramana Tira Vanachari Ramana Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Vihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vraja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Ashtottara Shrimad Divine Grace Abhay Charanaravindra Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की मथुरा धाम की द्वारकापुरी धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की श्री मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की गंगामय यमुनामयी की भक्ति देवी तुलसी देवी की समावेत भक्त वृंद की all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Shri Gauranga. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्वन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमावों विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Welcome all of you for the Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today we are reciting from the, is going to come? Now we are reciting from the 4th canto, 22nd chapter, text number 39. यत्पादपङ्कजपलाशविलासभक्त्या कर्माशयं ग्रथितमुद्ग्रथयन्ति सन्तः तद्वन्नरिक्तमतयो यतयोऽपि रुद्ध श्रोतो गणास्तमरणं भज वासुदेवम् यत्पादपङ्कजपलाशविलासभक्त्या कर्माशयं ग्रथितमुद्ग्रथयन्ति सन्तः तद्वन्नरिक्तमतयो यतयोऽपि रुद्ध श्रोतो गणास्तमरणं भज वासुदेवम् यत्पादपङ्कजपलाशविलासभक्त्या कर्माशयं ग्रथितमुद्ग्रथयन्ति सन्तः तद्वन्नरिक्तमतयो यतयोऽपि रुद्ध श्रोतो गणास्तमरणं भज वासुदेवम् यत्पादपङ्कजपलाशविलासभक्त्या कर्माशयं ग्रथितमुद्ग्रथयन्ति सन्तः तद्वन्नरिक्तमतयो यतयोऽपि यत्पादपङ्कजपलाशविलासभक्त्या कर्माशयं ग्रथितमुद्ग्रथयन्ति सन्तः तद्वन्नरिक्तमतयो यतयोऽपि रुद्ध श्रोतो गणास्तमरणं भज वासुदेव माताजी's Yat whose pada feet pankaja lotus palasha petals toes vilasa enjoyment bhaktya by devotional service karma fruitive activities ashayam desire gratitam hard knot udgratayanti root out santah devotees tat that vat like na never riktamatayah persons devoid of devotional service yatayah ever increasingly trying api even though ruddha stopped srotah ganaha the sense enjoyment tam unto him aranam worthy to take shelter bhaja engage in devotional service vasudevam unto Krishna the son of Vasudeva. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. The devotees who are always engaged in the service of the toes of the lotus feet of the Lord can very easily overcome hard-knotted desires for fruitive activities because this is very difficult. The non-devotees, the jnanis and yogis, although trying to stop the waves of sense gratification, cannot do so. Therefore, you are advised to engage in the devotional service of Krishna, the son of Vasudeva. Purport. There are three kinds of transcendentalists trying to overcome the influence of the modes of material nature, the jnanis, yogis, and bhaktas. All of them attempt to overcome the influence of the senses, which is compared to the incessant waves of a river. The waves of a river flow incessantly, and it is very difficult to stop them. Similarly, the waves of desire for material enjoyment are so strong that they cannot be stopped by any process other than bhakti yoga. The bhaktas, by their transcendental devotional service unto the lotus feet of the Lord, become so overwhelmed with transcendental bliss that automatically their desires for material enjoyment stop. The jnanis and yogis, who are not attached to the lotus feet of the Lord, simply struggle against the waves of desire. They are described in this verse as rikta matayaha, which means devoid of devotional service. In other words, the jnanis and yogis, although trying to be free from the desires of material activities, actually become more and more entangled in false philosophical speculation or strenuous attempts to stop the activities of the senses. As stated previously, Vasudeve Bhagavate Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayatyashu Vairagyam Jnanam Chayada Haitukam. Here also the same point is stressed. Bhaja Vasudevam indicates that one who is engaged in the loving service of Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, can very easily stop the waves of desires. As long as one continues to try to artificially stop the waves of desires, he will certainly be defeated. That is indicated in this verse. Desires for fruitive activities are strongly rooted, but the trees of desire can be uprooted completely by devotional service because devotional service employs superior desire. One can give up inferior desires when engaged in superior desires. To try to stop desires is impossible. One has to desire the supreme in order not to be entangled in inferior desires. Jnanis maintain a desire to become one with the supreme, but such desire is also considered to be kama, lust. Similarly, the yogis desire mystic power, and that is also kama. And the bhaktas, not being desirous of any sort of material enjoyment, become purified. There is no artificial attempt to stop desire. Desire becomes a source of spiritual enjoyment under the protection of the toes of the lotus feet of the Lord. It is stated herein by the Kumaras that the lotus feet of Lord Krishna are the ultimate reservoir of all pleasure. One should therefore take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord instead of trying to unsuccessfully stop the desires for material enjoyment. As long as one is unable to stop the desire for material enjoyment, there is no possibility of becoming liberated from the entanglement of material existence. It may be argued that the waves of a river are incessantly flowing and that they cannot be stopped. But the waves of the river flow towards the sea. When the tide comes over the river, it overwhelms the flowing of the river, and the river itself becomes overflooded, and the waves from the sea become more prominent than waves from the river. Similarly, a devotee with intelligence plans so many things for the service of Lord in Krishna consciousness that stagnant material desires become overflooded by the desire to serve the Lord. As confirmed by Yamunacharya, since he has been engaged in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord, there is always a current of newer and newer desires flowing to serve the Lord, so much so that the stagnant desire of sex life becomes very insignificant. Yamunacharya even says that he spits on such desires. Bhagavad Gita 2.59 also confirms Param Drishtva Nivartate. The conclusion is that by developing a loving desire for the service of the lotus feet of the Lord, we subdue all material desires for sense gratification. Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki, Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai ki. This is a very, very famous and very important verse of Srimad Bhagavatam we are reciting today. So, there are many spiritual seekers who travel across the globe searching for the truth. So when does the seeker become a seer of the truth? When one is able to identify a proper master. from whom one is enlightened, and then one's mind is able to get settled and focused and fixed up in the spiritual practice. When our dear His Grace Anandamaya Prabhu was also traveling to different parts of the world, he came to India in his travels, and some children, some small boys saw him that he is a foreigner. So they said, "We will introduce you to other foreigners, come." So they caught him by the hand and took him and introduced him to some other foreigners, and the other foreigners happened to be Hare Krishna devotees. Huh? Yeah. So they were Hare Krishna devotees. So those devotees, when they saw him, they took him to one tent where His Holiness Tamaksha Maharaj was sitting. And Tamaksha Maharaj asked him, "What are you doing in India? What are you searching for?" So Prabhu said that I am searching for the truth, and I am studying different civilizations and different cultures and different traditions. And Maharaj arranged for a full plate of prasadam for him. And when he was taking prasad, Ramakrishna Maharaj told him, "Your search stops here," he said. "Now you don't have to search anymore. You have come to the right place. You just stick on and everything will be revealed to you if you stay with devotees." And since then he stayed and he never left the group of devotees. So he was once sharing that nectar in pastime with us. So we have seen Buddha said desire is the root cause of all evil. He says desire is the cause of all problems. Because when you desire, then you develop a hankering to get something. And if you don't get it, you lament that I couldn't get it. If you get it, you become proud that you got it. After you become proud, you want to show off to others. When you show off to others, others become envious of you. When others become envious, you become fearful that they may snatch it away from you. And when they actually snatch it away from you, you again lament that you lost it. So you will see that in this world, any kind of desire we have for material objects is subjected to dozens of such material emotions and painful emotions, which all living beings are subjected to. Whether it be attraction to the, attraction to a car, attraction to a bungalow, attraction to money, attraction to a woman, attraction to land, attraction to gold, silver, diamond, anything that you are attracted to in this world, certainly there is always a fear of not getting it. I may not get it. There is a hankering when you don't have it. The hankering also burns our heart like fire. So the desire burns every moment in our heart. Therefore it is said chitta and chinta. So chitta means the dead body which is put in the funeral pyre and burned. That only burns once in a lifetime. Whereas chinta burns throughout, it is said. It keeps burning. Anxiety. So the hankering, the whole material world is characterized by hankering for gross and subtle things. Gross things in the form of wealth, women, land, gold, diamond, position, possessions, these kind of things. The subtle things in the form of prestige, status, name, fame, glory, popularity, distinction. These are all subtle desires. So these gross and subtle desires are burning the heart of the living entities. Even when one comes for a spiritual sermon, like once I was speaking to some 400, 500 people, and the lecture went on for a couple of hours. At the end, I asked any questions. One boy raised a hand and asked me, "What is your technique for keeping the people spellbound?" I also want to actually speak so that people can listen to me. It's very difficult to get audience, he was telling. So he didn't get anything spiritual. He is just thinking of how to control the people, how he can become popular. So you can see that, the material desires can be so deep rooted. Even in a spiritual place, you look for a material desire. So these material desires are being spoken here as rivers. And these rivers are constantly flowing and river-like desires. Sometimes when you have to catch a train, you find that You go near the entrance of the train. People are gushing out of the train. You have seen that? Huh? People are coming out. They just push you away. By the time you again go to the door to board the train is gone. Huh? It happens many times like that. Similarly, our desires, sometimes material desires are so overwhelming that we may have a very weak spiritual desire to do something. Ekadashi, they let me chant some few more rounds. And then this material desires, whoosh, they're just gushing out. They just overpower us, and they apparently knock away uh, the tiny inclination. Nowadays, for students to take out time to go to a Gita class, listen to the sermon, pick up the chanting of the holy name, uh, and read Prabhupada's books, and become serious in devotional service. So these steps, when they want to take, there are a lot of bad associations are all around them, isn't it? There is internet Wi-Fi available everywhere. They pollute your head, and there are bad friends who drag you to bad habits. Yeah, and the whole world is encouraging you to get into wrong direction. So many advertisements for useless and dangerous things. Yeah? So many advertisements all around. So uh, we have to design our day. We have to design our life. Designing, one is design, another one is default. If you allow your life to go on default mode is fall down mode. And that is default mode. You will be definitely, it's a sure short case of fall down. So we have to design means we have to modify our day. How? So for that we have to strengthen our desire. Now if one is not a devotee, if one is a jnani or a yogi or a karmi, Prabhupada says, those people, they are not inclined to serve the Lord. For them, the reference point is I, themselves. So I'll tell you a little story which will make it easy for you to understand this point. When there was a landlord, he had 5 sons. These sons were all grown-up sons, grown-up boys, and he expected amongst them who is most responsible, to whom I can hand over the family and my business and my estates, and so that they can later on take care of everything. So father was analyzing their sons. Based on their attitude, mindset, mentality, I can decide. See, in Gita, Lord Krishna first talks about identity. Then he talks about mentality. You will see that. First, second chapter, he talks about identity. You are not the body, you are the soul. Later on in the 14th chapter and all, 16th chapter and all, you find he talks about mentality, divine mentality and demonic mentality. And then towards the end of the Gita, Krishna talks about surrender. So father also thought, let me find out the mentality of my boys and then decide whom to make responsible for the whole family. So he saw the last boy, he would just come home, pick up money and go and enjoy life. Eat, drink and be merry. Smoke, drink, watch movies. He was least concerned about father, least concerned about home, least responsible. He never cared for anything. He was not even eager to connect with father also. That was the fifth son. Vagabond, as you say. Just take the money and squander all the wealth. The fourth son, he would come home, meet the father occasionally, and then he would say, Papa, one new model mobile has come, can you please give me? He would take it and go away. After 6 months, he will come again. Papa, one new model bike has come, can you give me? So whenever he wanted something, very respectfully, he will come to father and fold the palms and speak to him very sweetly, accept the thing and go away. That was the fourth son. The third son, he wanted to travel with the father to go to the companies, factories that father had. He would go with the father and ask the father, Papa, you have so many factories, so many industries, so much bank balance. Why didn't you write off half of it in my name? I am also eager to control the people. I also want a bank balance. I also want to be owner of factories. Please take me, introduce me to the factories and make me in charge. Father said, wait a minute, you are a growing boy. When you become mature at the right time, I will give you better. Now you just keep, okay, if you want to come with me, you can come. But don't be too eager to possess everything. So he was like that, third fellow. And the second fellow was a very dangerous fellow. He would never come in front of the father, but he would directly go to the factories and the MDs, he would meet them, show me the bank balance. How much money is there? And where are the papers of the company? So he was thinking, I will finish my father and take over all the industries myself. I'll become the owner. That was the second son. And the first son was a very good boy. He was completely, uh, you know, uh, desireless. He had no desires personally at all. He just stayed with the father at home. Whenever the father told him, go to the bank and bring 50 lakhs, he'll bring 50 lakhs and give it to father. He will not touch a single penny. Father was so much trusting the first son, he can hand over even 5 crores to him. And if he tells him, go and give it to so and so, he'll go and give it. He will not touch a single penny. He was like that. And personally, he was living a very simple life. He would just sleep in a simple chatai. He would just get up in the morning and do his duties, pray to God, everything he would do very well. And the father he was very loving towards the father, very affectionate. One day, the father called the son and said, you don't ask anything from me. Look at your other brothers. They are all taking so many things from me. Tell me, what do you want? And the boy said, Papa, why should I ask you anything? You are providing me everything. You are providing me food, clothing, shelter. I am staying with you. I am very comfortable. I don't need anything from you. So the father was some moved by the son's behavior. Father said, even if you take some money from me, that is not for yourself. You try to, sometimes the eldest son, he would try to set up a business for the fifth or the fourth son, so that they will become more responsible. But those fellows will take the money and run away. So father saw that the eldest son is not only not expecting anything, he is also trying to do good to the other brothers also. And personally, he has no ambitions, personal ambitions from the father. And the father understood amongst all the sons, the best son is first son. And he understood he is my true representative. So this story has a very deep significance, which I told you now. Let us see who can find out. So who is the father in this story? Krishna is the father. He is the father. Who is the fifth son who just comes home, takes money in the absence of the father and goes and just eat, drinks and does merry? Only one at a time. Anybody? Yes? He is a karmi. He is called as a bhogi. In this world also you see people never even think of God even one moment. You can see that, the sun shines, the rain showers, the flowers blossom, the fruits ripen, the crops grow, the grains fructify, and there are spices, there are so many eatables God has given. They don't even ask who has provided all this. You just eat and have a plumpy body and just enjoy sense gratification. You just don't care for God. They don't thank God. They don't express a gratitude. Shameless fellows. So this is the fourth category, atheistic fellows. And the fourth category, anybody? Yeah? Yeah? Pious materialist. Perfect answer it is. Pious materialist. These people are pious. Pious means what? They recognize God. They come to the temple, they bow down to Him. But they generally come to temple only when they have problems. If they have problems, they will come to God. Other times, they just don't turn up. Like sometimes you see small children coming to temple, with their uniforms. You wonder, suddenly a dozen children have come. How they came? And they said, Uncle, don't you know today is our exam day? So they want to get blessing from God for the examination. Or sometimes a businessman is starting a business, he will come to temple, pray to God, please make my business a success. Or please help me get my daughter married. Or help my son get a good job settlement. They pray. But they stop with that. They don't connect with God beyond that. You can see that. Some people even go to Balaji temple and they do a business with Balaji also. Like one man told Balaji, oh Balaji, if you give me 1 lakh rupees, I will give you 50,000. And he was about to leave. He said, okay, even if you don't give me 1 lakh, whatever you give me, I will give you half. He said. So then he and his friend had gone. So they returned back. Next week he got in lottery, 50,000 he got. His friend told him, so you got 50,000 by praying to Balaji, you are going to give Balaji 25,000? The man said, No, no, no. I think Balaji has already taken the other 50,000. Because I asked him for 1 lakh. You gave me only 50. Probably the share he has already taken. His friend told him, hey, towards the end, you told Balaji that whatever you get, you will give. How is it half you are not giving? His friend was harassing him very much. Every day he would ask him, phone him and ask him, when are you going to go to Balaji and give half? So this friend thought, Arey, why did I take that fellow with me? He's behind me. One day his friend literally caught him by the neck and told him, if you cheat Balaji, then you'll get cheated. Better you go and give back. So then both of them went again to Tirupati. This fellow was in no mood to give back 25,000. So when the time of putting the money in the hundi came, this man told his friend, please purchase some laddus. So he went to purchase some laddus. And then he put something in the hundi. Actually, he didn't put 25,000. He put only 100 rupees only. His friend asked him, so you put the money? He said, yes, I have put now, he said. So they both came back. And then when he went home, he thought, I have cheated my friend. So then he took out the laddus and he was giving to his wife. That time he saw the gold ring was missing. Suddenly he was wondering, where did the gold ring go? The gold ring was 24,900 rupees. So Balaji took away that, whatever money he was supposed to give. So then this fellow lamented. Actually, now do you think Lord will be happy with him? Lord had to forcibly take away the money. He didn't happily give. You can see that this is the way people are, materialistic people. They are called pious materialists. Pious materialist. So pious materialist means they are pious, they believe in God, but they do business with God. You see, it's pious materialist. That's the third son. That's a fourth son. Yeah. Who is the third son? He goes with the father and says, Papa, introduce me to all your industries, make me also owner, make me in charge of the bank balances. Imagine if a son is too much eager for becoming owner, then no father will be happy. First, the son has to win the trust of the father, correct, no? He has to become responsible, win the trust. Then father will give him some businesses. But this fellow was too much eager. This is for students only. Any student would like to answer? Anybody? Yeah, not the senior students, the younger students. Yes? The third son, who is he? Who? Anybody from the students? There is one hand up behind. Give it to him. Yeah. Yogis, correct. Very good. Give him an applause. Yes, correct. The Ashtanga yogi performs, lot of austerities. And then when he grows in his tapasya, he can levitate. Levitation? They sometimes they jump above the ground. Some people are amazed. Hey, this Yogi Baba can float in the air. Yeah. And some of them can walk on water. Some of them can fly on sky. They get some powers. So, in those days, there was one pilot Baba. He went to Chennai and he was performing. Many industries sponsored his walking on the water. So many people came and took video, photo and everything. So people are very eager for watching somebody able to walk on water. So Prabhupada was telling, one man went to Himalayas for 20 years. After staying 20 years, he returned back to his village. So all villagers asked him, what did you learn in the 20 years? He said, tomorrow morning I will show all of you how I can cross the river without a boat. I can walk on the water to the other side of the river. All of you come. Whole village assembled. So there was one Vaishnava devotee who met that boy. So he asked the boy, in 20 years, you learned only to earn 20 paisa? He asked him. The boy was surprised. What are you saying? And the Vaishnava told him, to cross the river from this side to that side is only 20 paise. That's all you have learned? To go from here to there. What is so great about it? So, you will see that these yogis actually want to gain control over the nature. Like God has control. I also want control. They like controlling. They want to produce ashes. They want to produce gold. They want to walk on water, fly on sky, become popular amongst the people. They want to have control over the material nature. So these are yogis. But these yogis, when they go to forests and do meditation and yoga and all, When they get these powers, again they come into the populace and they become popular and they forget the goal of God. Because these siddhis distract them. This is a third fellow. They want to become like God. They want to become popular like God, you see. And who is the second son? Please don't tell that. You raise the hand, I will ask you. There is one hand up. Please give the mic. Who is that loudly? Yeah. Yes. The mic.
Is it Gyanis and
Gyanis, impersonless. Correct. Give him an applause. Wonder. Impersonless. Yeah. Impersonless. Mayavadis. So these people are dangerous fellows. Why? Because they want to become God. In fact, they tell people also, I am God. I am Supreme Brahman. They claim like that. So Prabhupada used to be very vehemently opposing these people because Prabhupada said, if anybody says I am God, he is dog. Prabhupada would say that. How can he claim to be God? Are you controlling the sun every day? Are you controlling the moon? Are you creating millions of planets? Is everybody's food arranged by you? God is a supplier of food to every creature, 8.4 million species. Madhvayat vati vatoyam suryastapati madhvayat varshati indro dahatyagner mrityuscharati madhvayat. God is telling, Madhvayat vati vati, the wind is blowing out of fear of me. The sun is rising out of fear of me. The Lord of showers, Indra, is showering rain due to my order. The fire is having a burning sensation because of my order. Similarly, the death is taking its toll in this world. Millions of jivas are born and they die by my order. He says everything is happening by my order. Not even a blade of grass can move without my sanction. Lord is saying. So, Lord, God is God and we are tiny, insignificant servants of God. God is whole, we are part. Whole is a whole, part is a part. Part will never become the whole. So, for a jiva to claim to be God, it's a very great offense. Sannyasi chitkana jiva surya kirana sama shadaishwarya purna krishna hoya suryopama. This verse says, even if you are a sannyasi also in this world, you are only a chitkana jiva. You are anuchit vastu. And Krishna is brihat chid vastu. He is the great Lord. No, Lord can make oceans. We only make swimming pool. God can make moonlight. We only make dome light. We should know what we can do is very tiny. We cannot imitate him. Not even properly, little bit imitate him. Prabhupada said, one man asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, man also has created aeroplanes like God created birds like eagles. Man has made aeroplanes. So Prabhupada said, but can a man make mosquito? Tiny aeroplane like a mosquito can he make? He cannot make. So God's greatness is not one-sided, it is two-sided. Prabhupada said, macro and micro. In both sides, God has done such amazing creation. Man can imitate to some degree, but man has minute freedom. But a jiva can never become God. So the second category people, they want to usurp the position of God and become God themselves. So therefore, jnanis are people who are frustrated with this world. They want to go to the Brahman and merge with Brahman and relax in Brahman. So Prabhupada gave the example, when an aeroplane goes up in the sky, does it merge in the sky? No, it is going to come down after some time. You have seen Jet Airways, it goes very up in the sky. It looks like it's merged in the sky. It's not one with the sky, it's going to come down after some time. Jnanis also may go up, but they don't stay in Brahma Jyoti forever. Aruhya kritsrena param padam tataha patanti yado anadritishmadangre. Similarly, a parrot is entering a tree. Does a parrot become one with the tree? It maintains its identity. Although everything looks green. Similarly, Jiva and God both are called Brahman. But God is Parabrahman and we are Brahman. God is Paramatma. We are Atma. So we are tiny and he is great. So the second son wanting to usurp the father's property, and that is out of envy. Therefore Krishna says in Gita, Vidam tute guhyatamam prabhakshyami anasuyave is saying. Because you are not like the Mayavadis, Arjun, You are not envious of me. Therefore, I am telling my glories to you. So, Lord can only speak to Bhakta and Sakha and one who is Anasuya way. Therefore, he is speaking to Bhakta. So, the first son, everybody knows is who? Bhakta. It's a devotee. He has no expectation from the father. Now, no demands from the father. He simply wants to love and serve the father and align with the father. He not only accepts God, he aligns with God, acts for the pleasure of God, acts on behalf of God. That is ideal son. So bhaktas are like that. So this whole little story I told you, it is encapsulated in one verse which we will recite. Okay? Bhukti mukti siddhikami sakale ashanta Krishna bhakta nishkama atayeva shanta. So who is Bhuktikami in this story? After the five sons, who is Bhuktikami? Bhukti means you know that, right? Bhog. Who is the Bhuktikami in this? The fifth and fourth sons. They both are called Bhuktikami. And the third son is Siddhikami. He is a yogi, Siddhikami. And the second son, Muktikami. He is a impersonalist. And then first son is Krishna Bhakta, Nishkama. So after the five sons, who is peaceful? First son is peaceful because he has no independent desires. So this whole verse is talking about how we should not have independent desires, but it doesn't say that you should not have desires. You can have a desire, but the desire should be to offer service to the Lord. Like for example, if you go to people's homes, they on the wall in some homes they put so many family members and relatives photos they put. You have seen that? Some homes you go, any wall you turn around, you only see their own relatives, friends, family in different poses, different pictures. They say this is grandfather family, grandmother and uncle, aunt and their own brother, sister, mother, father, anywhere. So then you look around, is there any picture of God also in your house? So I had gone to one house to give Srimad Bhagavatam set. So many pictures they had on the wall. I asked, can you get one Krishna picture? They said, sorry, we don't have Krishna picture. So later on, when I go for Bhagavatam installation, I told the devotees, we should carry one Krishna picture with us. In case in somebody's house they don't have Krishna picture, we can only put it. So what the scriptures say, instead of displaying only your own greatness, this is my family, my relatives, my friends, put some pictures of God in your house on the wall and you remember Him and glorify Him. I went to Amarendra Prabhu's place, Amarendra Prabhu and Adigatadar Prabhu in Atlanta. Such a beautiful, nice pictures they have in their house. There was one picture I saw, Mother Yashoda wants to come, and Yashoda is going to come into the house. And Krishna Balaram are hiding behind a pillar. And Krishna is saying, shh. And Krishna is saying, both kids are standing, Krishna Balaram. But when Yashoda is about to come, Krishna's this dupatta is there, no? That Angavastra. No? That is fallen right in the ground. She knows very well. This fellow's Angavastra is here. He must be somewhere around here only. And he's telling, shh, he's telling Balaram. So such a beautiful picture, such a nice meditation to see. So when you go to anybody's home and you see such pictures, it can immediately transport you to spiritual world. When you watch such pictures. So we should actually display very beautiful pictures on the wall of the Lord. So you have a desire to display some picture. Instead of using that desire for displaying your own glory, some people put themselves in different poses. You've seen that? Different dresses, different poses, as if they are only God. Isn't it? So instead of that, put God here, you see Krishna standing in there's a very beautiful picture here, giving an instruction to Arjuna, isn't it? And Krishna is having a gada also in the hand for attacking the demons. You saw that very powerful mace also. So in this way, so here there is another picture of Shukadeva Goswami speaking and all the, Parikshit and others sitting. You just want to chant japa in the morning. When you see these pictures, immediately it gives uddipan. Uddipan means it gives you some kind of eagerness to chant the holy name. So similarly, you have Rasa dance, you have Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The doors of the altar also, you have many pictures, correct? No? So in this way, when you come to temple, you are reminded of the Lord. You can make home also like a temple, by putting the pictures and everything. It's not that you have to give up your desire for displaying pictures, but you can convert the desires, convert the material desire into spiritual desire. That was the point. So that is the point mentioned here. The devotees of the Lord. Now, there's one specific word used in this verse, you will see. Yat pada pankaja palasha vilasa bhaktya. He is not talking of ordinary bhakti, but vilasa bhakti. Vilasa means you should delight in bhakti, dance in ecstasy, sing in ecstasy. But if you want to know the difference between ordinary bhakti and ecstatic bhakti or special bhakti, that we have to learn from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We will see that Mahaprabhu said, when can your bhakti have potency? When can your bhakti bhava be very intense, very powerful? There are 3 Ds. One has to qualify first. Before you can cry in ecstasy, hair can stand on end, and you can feel the bhava for the Lord. The first D is explained in the second verse of Shikshashtakam. What is that? Nam namakari bahudha nija sarva shaktis tatrarpita niyamita smaranena kalaha etadrishi tava kripa bhagavan mamapi Durdaiva medrishamiha janina anuragaha. He's telling, my dear Lord Krishna, how unfortunate I am. You are coming in this world in varieties of forms and names. For example, you are coming as different names invested with various potencies like Govinda, Keshava, Madhava, Madhusudana, so many names like that. In each of the names, there is spiritual potency. But I have no attraction for these names. And you are also coming as holy rivers like Ganga, Yamuna, Kaveri, Saraswati, Godavari, Narmada, all these holy rivers. You are also coming as holy books. You are coming as the holy devotees. You are coming as the holy temples and Sri Vigrahas. You are also coming as the holy prasadam. How unfortunate, I have no attraction. So he is actually cursing and lamenting, and he's feeling a desperateness. So this desperateness is the first D that we have to qualify for attracting the attention of the Lord. So within this desperation, there is gratitude also. He's feeling gratitude to Lord. There's one very famous song on Krishna, the Tamil song, and that song exactly depicts the mood of Kunti Maharani. Kurayundrum illai marai murti kanna Kurayundrum illai kanna Kurayundrum illai Govinda. And then the song says, my dear Lord Krishna, there is no deficiency in my life. Whatever I may desire, whatever I want, you have already given me everything. I have no complaint that you have not given me anything. That's the first statement. And then says, Tirayil Pennerkilrai Kanna Vannai Marayodum Madavar Mattume Kanbar Irundalum Yenak Kurayandrum Illai Irundalum Yenak Kurayandrum Illai. What is saying? That you are hiding behind this world here. We can see that you are concerned about me. Therefore, you have sent the rain shower. You have given me the fruits and cereals. You have sent the food. You have sent the clothing. You have sent the shelter. You have sent my mother and father. You are providing me all my necessities from hiding from somewhere. But I can't see your form. But I can see that you are so kind to me. I can see your kindness. Although you are hiding behind the screen. But I am not going to demand that you come in front of me. Why? Because you are only seeable or observable by great souls. Here this poet is saying, you are only observable by those whose mind and heart are clean. I am not such a great devotee. Only pure devotees can see you. Just like Kunti Maharani is saying, no? Tata paramahamsanam muninam amalatmanam bhakti yoga vidhanartam katam pashyema histriyah. Same thing the poet is saying here. You are only observable by great souls. They can see you with their eyes tinged with salve of love. And my eyes are tinged with desires, material desires. How can I see you? I can't see. But they can see you. Like that is saying. Yeah. In this way, in the whole mood of the song is that, oh Krishna, please tell me, where are you? How can I find you? How can I approach you? Please don't hide away from me. Give me your darshan, give me your reciprocation. Besides you, I don't find anything meaningful in this world. Everything in this world is good for nothing. All perishable commodities, changing commodities, all the relative beauties. In this world, somebody is very beautiful at one time. After 20 years, you see the beauty is gone. Isn't it? Somebody is very wealthy. Even billionaires become beggars in this world. In this world, nothing remains forever. Everything is temporary. All the commodities of this world are called here today, gone tomorrow pleasures. I don't want to chase after any of the mirage of this world. I only want you. So this desperation is needed. So you will find there is see here, Gaya kare aile Shri Gaura Sundara Paripurna Dvani Haila Nadiya Nagara. As soon as Shri Gaura Sundara returned from Gaya, the entire city of Nadia was filled with the news. You all know Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he earlier was called as the Tarkika Shiromani. He was always making arguments on Nyaya Shastra with everybody. But he is none other than Krishna himself. All the people of Nadia would think, this boy is so handsome. In the morning when we wake up and see him in the morning, his face is like a full moon. His curly hairs are so beautiful. And he has a sacred thread passing through his body. His eyes are like lotus petals. His lips are like vimba fruit. And when we look at him, he looks like Krishna. But when he opens his mouth, it's full of Nyaya Shastra. He does Tarka Vitarka. Vaishnavas will come near him, attracted to his charm. But when he would open his mouth, speak Nyaya, they would run away. So this was Yogamaya potency acting. So in this way, devotees of the Lord were put in a very precarious position. They were attracted to him also and averse to him also. And they all would pray, when will the time come when Nimai Pandit will become a devotee one day? Then he will transform the whole world. He will even become a great asset for all of us in giving boost to our bhakti also. Like this, they would all be talking to one another. And one day Nimai Pandit was with his students. And when they were walking, he saw Mukunda coming in the opposite side. He called, hey Mukunda, come here. And Mukunda immediately turned around and ran away from there. Then Nimai asked, why is Mukunda running away after seeing me? His friend said, maybe he forgot something at home. Must have gone to bring. He said, no. I know very well. These Vaishnavas don't associate with non-devotees. These Vaishnavas keep away from non-devotees. And then he shouted, hey Mukunda, wait and watch. A day will come when Shiva and Brahma will come to learn devotional service from me. I will perform such devotional service. Like that Nimai Pandit would speak. So Nimai is Lord Krishna himself. Instead of Shyam Sundar, he became Gaur Sundar. Now, here is a turning point that comes in his life. One day, Ishwara Puri came to Nadia, and then in the home of Advaita Acharya Prabhu, all Vaishnavas were sitting and discussing Bhagavad Katha. And Advaita Acharya sensed that some great soul has come at the door. So he got up and went to the door, and he saw Ishwara Puri. Eyes were streaming with tears, hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam pastime. He asked, who are you? He didn't reveal his identity. He said, I am simply servant of Vaishnavas, like that he said. Later on, Advaita found out that who was that person? Ishwara Puri. Yesterday was Ishwara Puri's appearance day, yesterday. So, this Ishwara Puri stayed in Navadvip for almost 7 months or so stayed. And oftentimes he was hosted by Gadadhar Pandit in his house. So Gadadhar Pandit would request him to speak on Krishna Leela. So Ishwar Puri had written a book called as Krishna Leela Amritam. And whole night he would speak. And some of the times Gadadhar Pandit invited Nimai Pandit also to come and hear. The Nimai Pandit also associated with Ishwar Puri. There is a record of that. So later on, Nimai Pandit was very, very inspired by Ishwarapuri. He invited Ishwarapuri one day to his home. When Nimai Pandit was walking like this, Ishwarapuri was coming like this, the other side of the road. He immediately crossed the road and went and fell at his feet and said, "Can you please come to my home for prasad?" So Ishwarapuri accepted. When they went home, whatever was there at home, rice and all the items Nimai Pandit served, Ishwarapuri said, "Please keep something for yourself." Nimai Pandit didn't keep anything for himself. Everything he offered to him. So that was the opportunity Nimai Pandit got to associate with Ishwarapuri by hearing from him as well as serving him also. Now, at one point of time when Jagannath Mishra passed away, then Nimai Pandit decided to go to Gaya Dham in order to perform the Shraddha for his father. That was only a secondary reason. The primary reason was he wanted to meet Ishwarapuri. So he went to one Vishnupadi Mandir. In that temple, Vishnu's lotus feet is worshipped by Brahmins. So the Brahmanas were chanting the mantras in Sanskrit, the meaning of which is like this. They were chanting, "These are the same lotus feet of Vishnu which are massaged by Goddess of Fortune Lakshmi regularly. These are the same lotus feet from where the Ganga has emanated. These are the same lotus feet which are placed on the head of Bali Maharaj, and Bali Maharaj was made of Mahajan and he was liberated." So in this way they were glorifying the lotus feet of the Lord. These are the same lotus feet which can shatter the mountain of sins that a jiva carries in his heart due to millions of lifetimes of committing sins. These are the same lotus feet which delivered Ahilya by the touch of a stone. So when they were glorifying like this, when Nimai Pandit was sitting in the temple, his heart started raging with love. And just like aeroplane in an airport, you will see, they have this propeller. Before taking off, you have seen the propeller? It builds up, builds up, builds up. And afterwards, when fully propulsion is done, then based on the buoyancy principle, we call it as a drag and the lift, in hydraulics you will study that. So the aeroplane goes and then it takes off. Similarly, these prayers spoken by these Brahmins are actually causing the raging love in the heart of Nimai Pandit. At that time, Ishwarapuri entered the temple. Immediately, Nimai Pandit got up and ran to Ishwarapuri, went and fell at his feet with his face on his feet and clasping his feet and begged him, "Please give me initiation." And Ishwarapuri said, "How can I initiate you? You are the Supreme Lord. I am your servant. But if you order me, for your pleasure, I can do anything." Then Ishwarapuri initiated him. And then when he returned back to Nadia, see here, this is the verse. Gaya kare aile Shri Gaura Sundara Paripurna Dvani Haila Nadia Nagara. So when he returned, all over Nadia the news spread. Daile yata saba apta varga ache Keh aage, keh majhe, keh ati pache. All the Lord's friends and relatives came running to see him. Some came early, some came in between, and some came later. Yata yogya kaila prabhu savare sambhasha Vishambhare deki save haila ullasa. Lord spoke to everybody and then all became jubilant seeing him. And they all asked him about the pilgrimage and everything. Yeah. So here he's saying, yes, my Gaya journey was very good. And Lord spoke with great humility and everybody became satisfied. Everybody wished him, touched his head and live a long life and everything they said. So they are offering him Krishna Matirastu. Like that, Sachi became filled with joy and it goes on like this. So here you will find when the Lord now he will exhibit. See here he is saying, Prabhu Bale Bandhu Sabha, Prabhu Bale Bandhu Sabashana. So here Lord Chaitanya is going to reveal, now he is going to manifest love of God from this point on, when he has returned back. Kati Kata Krishnera Apurvaye Dekilu Yata Yatha. How I have seen Krishna, I'll tell you here. गयार भीतर मात्र हैलाम प्रवेश प्रथमे सुलीलान मंगल विशेष. As soon as I entered the abode of Gaya, I heard most auspicious sounds. Sahasra sahasra vipra pade veda dhvani. Deka deka Vishnu padodaka tirtha khani. Thousands and thousands of Brahmins are reciting prayers from the Vedas, and they all said, "Come and see the holy spot where Lord Vishnu washed his lotus feet. Purve Krishna Yave Kaila Gaya Gamana. Seyistane Rahi Prabhu Dhuyila Charana." Previously, Krishna visited Gaya. In this place, he washed his lotus feet in this place. Therefore, Vishnupadi Mandir is there in that place. So, and then they're saying the Ganga became glorious as a result of, I told you, this is the one they're saying. These are the, so Lord Shiva accepted the same waters on his head. Yeah. See. Pada Padma Tirtera Laite Prabhu Nama. Ajhare Jhara Yedue Kamala Nayana. As soon as Lord repeated the name of Pada Padma Tirtha, tears began to incessantly flow from his eyes. Sheshe Prabhu Hailen Bada Sambara. Krishna Bali Kandite Lagila Bahotara. Now, Nimai Pandit lost his composure. He began to cry profusely, calling out, "Krishna, Krishna." You will see that. Lost all his patience. Bharila Pushpera Vana Mahaprema Jale. Mahashwasa Chadi Prabhu Krishna Krishna Bale. So the flower garden became inundated with tears of love of Nimai Pandit. And the Lord sighed deeply, constantly calling Krishna's names. Krishna, 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 He Krishna, 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 He Krishna, 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 Krishna. Krishna, 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 Hey. Krishna, 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 Hey. Krishna, 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 Hey. In this way, he was constantly started calling Krishna's names. Pulaka Purnita Haila Sarva Kalevara. Stira Nahe Prabhu Kampa Bhare Tara Tara. The whole body, hair started standing on end. He could not remain still. His body began to shiver, tremble in ecstasy. Shriman Pandita Adiyata Bhakta Gana Deke na Purva Krishna Premera Krandana. So Shriman Pandita is the brother of Srivas. He's the first one he is seeing, and all other devotees. They all watched the Lord crying intense love for Krishna. They were amazed. Chaturdike nayane bahaye prema dhara. Ganga yena siya karila avatara. As if Ganga has appeared there, tears were flowing in all directions from Nimai Pandit. Mani mani sabeyi chintena chamatkara. Hey matai hane kabu nahi dekhiara. Everyone was struck with wonder. Hey, did you see? Ever Nimai Pandit has never shown this behavior ever before. We all were aspiring to see him become a Krishna's devotee. Now Nimai has become a devotee. Like that, they were all amazed. Sri Krishna Anugraha Hailai Iki Vaibhava Pateva Haila Darashane. Either he has received the special mercy of Lord Krishna, or he must have seen something wonderful on the way by meeting some very pure devotee. He has become influenced by some pure devotee. Bahya Drishti Prabhura Haila Katakshane Sheshe Prabhu Sambhasha Karyala Sabhasane. Lord regained his composure now and started speaking to everybody. Prabhu kahe bandhu sab aaj ghare aha. See, he is saying that I have returned back home now, but I will tell you what is my misery I am feeling now. He is saying, is Mahaprabhu is going to, now here it will come, you will read about. Mother Sachi was very happy to see his behavior. He was always here. Krishna Krishna bole Prabhu kare ye krandana. Krishna Krishna bole Prabhu kare ye krandana. Ai dekhe ashru jale bharile angana. So this way Lord wept and cried out names of Krishna. Kota Krishna bala ye Thakura. Balite prema badaye prachura. Kotha Krishna means where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Calling out like this, his love incessantly increased. The more he asked, the more his love increased also. Mother couldn't understand. Kichnahi bhuje aaye. Kaun va karana? What is the reason for this? She only prayed to Govinda. Lord Govinda, protect my son. Like that. Yeah. And devotees, they are coming when they heard about this. Prema vrishti karite prabhura shubharambha Dvani shuni yayata bhagavata vrinda. Now all the devotees started thronging because the early morning behind Shiva Sangan there is a garden where devotees will come for plucking flowers. While plucking flowers, morning devotees will be chanting different names of the Lord. So today nobody was chanting names of the Lord, they were talking to each other. They were saying, hey, did you hear the news? Nimai has become a great devotee. He has become a pure devotee now. He's chanting Krishna's names. One moment he can't be separated from Krishna. So they are all coming to. So Lord is coming and meeting them in Shiva's house. You will see that. So it goes on like this. This pastime of Nimai Pandit. So, subsequently what will happen? He will call all his students and tell them, all of you fold your notebooks and books. All of you stand up, he will tell them. And instead of teaching them Sanskrit grammar, he said all the root of all the Sanskrit words is coming from whom? Krishna only. That's what our Jiva Goswami did by giving this Harinamamrita Vyakaran. If you read it, you will see. He shows the root of all words comes from Krishna. So he made them all dance to this one. Hare Hare Jaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama Hare Hare Jaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Yadavaya Madhavaya Kesavaya Namaha Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudhan Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan Hare Hare Jaya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram. So And this Mahaprabhu made all his students chant and dance. Later on, he called all the devotees in Shiva Sangan and said, "Why are we wasting our night in sleeping? Let us do night also, night kirtans in Shiva Sangan." So daytime kirtan, night kirtan. And what all they would do, one day he acted as Rukmini. Mother Sachi saw the drama and she said the best role was acted by somebody in the role of Rukmini. How Rukmini was desperate to attain Krishna's shelter. Who was acting as Rukmini? Please tell me. Who was acting? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself was acting as Rukmini, the drama. So sometimes they would do dramas, sometimes they would dance, sometimes they would sing, sometimes they would recite the shlokas from Srimad Bhagavatam. And Mahaprabhu would call innumerable names. Krishna Rama Mukunda Murari Vanamali, Krishna Rama Mukunda Murari Krishna Rama Mukunda Murari Vanamali. So these are the names he would sing in the Shiva Sangha. Krishna, Rama, Mukunda, Murari, Vanamali. So every name has a great meaning. Just like he says, Hari Haraya Nama, Krishna Madhavaya Nama. So he's saying, O Lord Hari, who takes away the sinful reactions of your devotees. O Lord Hari, who charms the heart of your devotees. And Madhava means, Ma means Mother Lakshmi. Madhava means the husband of the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi. Is calling. Govinda means one who gives great pleasure to the senses of his devotees who engage in his devotional service. Gopal means one who herds the cows and calves in the forest of Raja. So he would call the names and remember the activities and pastimes of the Lord, like that. So this is the first D you need, the desperation that Nimai Pandit showed. So if one is desperate to advance in spiritual life, desperate to search after Krishna, and then the devotion service is not ordinary. Why do I come to the temple? I want to see the Lord. I want to bow down to Him. That eagerness should be there. Why do I want to attend Bhagavatam class? I may get one message for me to improve my devotional service. So one should have some desperation in every devotional activity you do. When that desperation is there, we are a growing devotee. Then there is life. See, when there is life in the body, body grows, correct, no? From childhood to boyhood, body grows. If there is no life, the dead body will not grow. Similarly, for devotion service, we are not growing, we are stagnated. That means there is no life in devotion service. Pranayachayar, sehetu pracharya. So that is the first D. And the second D is devotional qualities, have to be cultivated by a devotee. 4 qualities. Humility, tolerance, expect nothing, and respect all. These 4 qualities. One should be humbler than a straw in the street. In this world, one should not be boastful or proud about one's achievements. One should be humble than a straw in the street. And one should be tolerant than a tree. A tree never asks for water also, unless somebody gives some water. Even when it is drying up, it doesn't ask for water. If you throw a stone into a tree, it will give you 4 mangoes back. Even for those who harm a devotee, they do good back to them. Similarly, a woodpecker may poke a hole in a tree, but the tree gives shelter to the woodpecker also. So much tolerant one. So tolerate dualities. That means be humble and insignificant. Tolerate dualities like Shita, Vishna, Sukha, Dukkha, Mana, Apaman. Tolerate them and be focused in your bhakti. And third is expect nothing from anybody. Because expectation is the root cause of frustrations in this world. Expect nothing from anybody. Then Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave a definition of humility, means expecting nothing from anybody. He said, no expectation from anybody. That's called, he said, humility. Then fourthly, respect one and all. Small or big, respect all. Never offend anybody or insult anybody. Don't sarcastically ridicule anybody. Respect all. Offer respects to all living beings. They are all parts and parcels of the Lord. So these 4 qualities have to be cultivated if you want to chant the holy name constantly. These 4 qualities. So this is called devotional qualities. This is the second D. What is the first D I said? Now cultivate desperation in spiritual life to search after Krishna. Second is cultivate devotional quality. Third D is detachment. Nadanam najanam na sundarim kavitam va jagadisha kamaye mama janmani janmanishware bhavatad bhakti raghaitu ki tvayi. Lord Chaitanya says, my spiritual master, once he was in Calcutta, he was supposed to take a leadership meeting. So all the leaders came, some 12 leaders. I was also there. Maharaj told that today I am going to tell all of you the mission statement for ISKCON Calcutta temple. Everybody ran and brought their notebook and pen because mission statement is the important thing for an organization. They wanted to note down. And Maharaj said, the mission statement is, and he told this sloka, Nadanam, Najanam, Nasundari. Nobody noted down. Everybody knows the sloka. They were looking up and down. Maharaj, this is all. Maharaj said, yes. If you live by this verse, Maharaj said, you can do the greatest good to the world. He said, Nadanam, Najanam, Nasundari means, my dear Lord, I do not aspire for wealth or for women or for name, fame, glory. Yeah. And I am not attracted to any of the things, perishable things of this world. I am not attracted. Nor do I aspire for even moksha also. I don't want liberation like the jnanis. I only want to serve you with love, birth after birth. Maharaj was telling, if you can understand this verse and apply it in your life, that means, such a person can actually practice bhakti from the bottom of the heart. Like you heard people saying, I am telling you from the bottom of my heart. What is the meaning of telling bottom of the heart? It means genuinely, truly, without any duplicity. Because we have so many other agendas in our spiritual life, therefore we are not experiencing that bhakti very purely. So, another time I met my spiritual master in Bombay Chowpatty temple and asked him, Maharaj, you always quote this Trinadapi Shunichana. I think this is the climax of spiritual life. Huh? Is it the ultimate? Maharaj said, no, this is not the ultimate, he said. I asked, what is the ultimate? Aslishyava padaratam pinashtumam. That was his ultimate, he said. Where Radharani says that, my dear Lord, you may embrace me or you can trample upon me with your foot. Huh? Whatever you may wish to do, you may do. I am your unconditional servant. Huh? Like that she says. So Maharaj said, this is the verse. Then I asked Maharaj, then why don't you quote this Maharaj in your classes? Why do you quote the other one? Huh? Trinadapi. Maharaj said, people are not ready for Trinadapi only. How can I tell this verse? Like that he said. So, therefore, Trinadapi verse can help us to chant constantly. And this Nadanam, Najanam, Nasundarim verse is detachment. Nivrittatarshai rupagi yamanat. Bhagavatam says, when you are free from all material desires, then you can recite Bhagavatam very joyfully. So, Nivrittatarshai happens by this Nadanam, Najanam, Nasundarim. Not attracted to the petty pleasures of the world. You will see that everybody has some goal, material goal in life. And they are all running behind that goal. You will see that. Small children are chasing after toys, toys and tricycle and things like that. Young boys are running after young girls. And you will find, and then when one is grown up, one is married, then one is running after money. One already has money, then one wants to go for bigger money and bigger business. You will see that. In this world, everybody is after something. You will see that. But a Krishna's devotee is after Krishna and nothing else. So when one says, I am a devotee of Krishna, Krishna is the thing that a devotee is looking for. Other things will be arranged in life. Okay, you need a house to live, you need food to eat, you need some job to earn. Those things are all right. They will come. But that is not the goal for a devotee. The goal for a devotee is Krishna himself. So when that is, then that is only possible if you are detached. Who is a person who is detached? We don't delight in material enjoyment, but we accept it if it comes our way. Like, okay, today there is a feast or festival, prasadam, there may be a big feast. Another day, Ekadashi, you have to, fast from grains. So both types of things come in our life. Neither does a devotee hate Ekadashi, nor does a devotee delight on a festival day. What is the menu today? What is the sabji? What is it? That kind of eagerness. Some people want to know in the morning only, early morning only, they want to know what is the menu today. What sabji they are going to cook. Let it first go to Krishna first, get it offered, then you can. So, therefore, one should not be too eager for material enjoyment. If we don't have detachment, then see what happens when I am not detached from things, then mind wanders a lot in chanting. Especially after things which we are craving for. Mind will wander, then we can't chant peacefully. So how can we get rid of the attachment in this world? By contemplating on the deficiencies of the material commodities. Like in this material world, I told you, beauty goes away. You are chasing after somebody's beauty, that beauty will be gone. When they become 70, 80, all the tooth will be gone. Like that will become. All the tooth will be gone. What will be the beauty? Clean faces become wrinkled faces. Jet black hair becomes white hair. Isn't it? Yeah. And the tooth also one out, two out, three out, all out. It will be gone. Why are you chasing after that perishable beauty? Like that you have to preach to mind. But Krishna's beauty, will it perish? It is everlasting beauty. Not only that, Krishna's beauty is oceanic beauty and everlasting beauty. So run after Krishna's beauty. Like that we can preach. Similarly, why you are running after the wealth of this world? What is this wealth? In Bhagavatam, the wealth is considered to be stool, it says. Why? Because in the lavatory, when you pass through, you don't even see it, you leave it and go. Similarly, wealth is something which you leave behind and go for your relatives to enjoy when you die. Correct, no? Because you leave it and go, it is compared to stool. Correct, no? In Tamil, the word is selvam. Selvam means, sell means to go. You leave it and go. That's the meaning of that. So don't be chasing after the shining gold or wealth or women or post or position. Nobody can permanently be in any post or position in this world. As the sun rises and sun sets, one day is removed from our life. In this way, gradually, one by one, our days will be gone. Life is short, time is precious, and once you chant the holy name, study the Srimad Bhagavatam, and develop these 3Ds: desperation to attain Krishna, and devotional qualities, and detachment from material enjoyment. And then one can dance in ecstasy, dance in ecstatic love. That is palasha, vilasa bhaktya. Not only you will do dutifully, I'm supposed to chant 16 rounds today. No. Vilasa means, I love to chant Hare Krishna. I love to sing. I love to worship the deities. I love to go out and preach. I love to perform devotional activities. One should feel ecstasy. That is palasha, vilasa bhaktya. Then jnanis and yogis are struggling with various types of pushings and pullings of the senses, but the devotees' mind and heart and senses and whole body is given to Krishna. Mantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki. Thank you very much.